Hey guys, welcome back to Puck Talk. Today we'll be discussing the three surprises, or like the multiple surprises of the season, the young season we've had so far. So the good teams and the bad teams. So let's get right into it.
So the good or the bad first.
Let's do the bad first. I think
Let's
that's
start off bad and then end it off with like a positive quote note.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So let's start off really bad. The Edmonton Oilers.
Ah, I am having too much fun watching this team fail. I am
I've
having
had
way too
a
much
lot
fun.
of fun the first two games of the season for my watch list.
You could not have planned like the fallout better than this. Like they're 1-4, and Connor McDavid is out. So
I have been preying on this team's downfall just because of the fan base and how annoyingly stupid they are. Sometimes you just get on my last nerve, and I've been predicting this. I've been saying that the Oilers are gonna have a rude awakening call, and it's coming. And now it's in the form of extremely terrible goaltending and lackluster defense.
For the past
Edmonton,
couple of years, they've always had a bad defense. It's just the fact that their main objective is just score more than the other team can.
yeah. And when that
And
doesn't work, when you face a hot goalie, then that crumbles. Like anytime they face a decent goalie, they crumble no matter what.
yeah, like Aiden Hill, like last year,
Yeah.
freaking Darcy. The only time that this didn't work in the playoffs, at least, was when they actually faced a pretty mid goalie in Darcy Kemper, but the Colorado team was just too strong for them to
Yeah.
actually win any games. But yeah, the Oilers, and even then, like scoring, the Oilers are one of the few teams that have that insane scoring ability to get them out of goals, but it's just really unreliable. Like playing defense, that's going to be a surefire way to like limit the chances against you and stop the goals. And if you
Yeah.
don't have that ability, then you're going to be a like an easy team to beat come playoff time, or even in the regular season, as we see now with the Oilers.
Yeah. So Connor McDavid is out for 2 weeks, right? I think two.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
How do we
one.
see these next 2 weeks going for them?
I think I think And as much as I dislike the Oilers, it will even out. I think Draisaitl is more than capable of playing on a higher level. Like they shouldn't suffer too much. I don't think they're gonna lose any more games without McDavid. Like they might lose one or two, but I think they're gonna be like 500 by the time
500.
McDavid returns.
At
I
the
hope, man, for the
at the
sake of
end
the
of the
best
day,
player.
Edmonton has like the two best players in the world. Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna be floundering for long. At some point, McDavid's gonna find his stride, and then Draisaitl's gonna continue doing Draisaitl things. It is what it is.
This might be an
But
opportunity for like Kane to get some playing time too. I know Kane was pushed onto the third line, right? When McDavid was playing.
yeah,
Hmm.
So maybe this is a chance for Kane to get hot too. Because they're gonna need the depth. That's their entire game
yeah,
plan, right? Just
they
outscore the
will.
other
They will.
team.
Hmm.
Although Matthews is better than Draisaitl, I just gotta throw that in there. I just gotta toss that in there.
That's the conversation for another time. I'll say I disagree, but
Like, like literally, just Edmonton just doesn't have the defense and the goalies to like maintain any worthwhile like run in the regular season or in the playoffs. So it's just like, what do they do at this point?
how did this team function without Ekholm? I can't imagine it. Like,
Didn't they only not have Ekholm for like one game, and that one game was like the 8-1
The eight
loss?
one game, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, they've had Ekholm, and I
but I
mean,
mean, like last season, they didn't have Ekholm for like a good part of the season. I'm like, how did they even exist before then?
It's Yeah,
McDavid was
McDavid was doing a historical season. That's about it. He just
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
ran the league.
yeah,
McDavid
that's
compared like in terms of McDavid, like his standard, he's had a really slow start. Like he
Mm.
hasn't like looked as his usual shell self. I feel like he's getting hit a lot more. I think players have like a vendetta against him because of that historic season. Like he just can't get around as swiftly as he was able to before. That's my analysis at least.
okay, yeah.
He's coming off that historic season. It's just like I don't think he can repeat that historical season ever again. Like he can
Yeah.
come close, but I think that was like his peak season, his best season.
Yeah, I think yeah, he's having the hangover effects for sure. And we need that Oilers depth to actually show up in defensive and offensive terms because without that they're doomed. Like they
Yeah.
need guys like Broberg, they need Connor Brown who they just got this offseason. They need Fogel, all these guys to like pitch in instead of these two offensive phenoms just carrying the load.
Yeah. I mean, so we kind of do agree that they're gonna even out and eventually become the good team that we think they are,
They're
right?
gonna become a good team, but they're still not gonna win the
Yeah.
I
playoffs
would
by the
say
time
I don't
comes.
know about a good team. I think they'll scrape by with 40, 40, 43, 44 wins.
Mm,
44 wins and 30 losses. That's my prediction at least.
okay.
Well, I can see them going on a run like last season. Like I can see them going on a win streak really easily.
I mean, all that comes down to is if Drysdale and McDavid's hot, and hope that like Campbell or Skinner just decides to like play okay at
Like even
best.
in today's game, like the Oilers were leading for like quite a bit of time and they lost 7-4. And that was just surprising because I looked at my phone, it's like 3-2 Oilers, and then end of the game it's 7-4 Wild. And like that can't happen. You can't allow that many goals. Just like 7 goals, like they've had 7+ goals 2 games, and they've played like what 6 games so far.
Yeah.
6 games, yeah.
Yeah, so like if like 1/3 of your games are allowing 5 goals or more, then how do you expect to be like a good team? How do you expect to win?
Also, another question. I don't know, like I don't know if I blame the goaltending for the Oilers, but is it really the goalies at this point? Like year after year, they've cycled through goalies for like the last 5 years now.
Okay,
At what
so
point do you stop blaming the goaltending and just blame the
I
defense?
so my personal opinion is that because I did watch 2 Oilers games, their defense has been really lackluster in covering the slot. They're letting people get in there for free. There's not a lot of like back check. No one's like skating back to actually help out on the 2-on-1s or 3-on-1s or anything like that. They're just giving up a lot of like 3-on-X opportunities that just isn't really working out for them. Like a lot of the shots taken on Skinner and Campbell have been like high percentage shots that like a lot of players in this league can score on because it's the NHL. But at the end of the day, at this point, what I'm pretty sure Campbell has like a below 88 save percentage on like 4 goals allowed or something like that. And that's just like not a good stat line at all for a starter. And at some point, like if you are that starter caliber player, you should be able to like have the mentality or like the skill set to still be able to somewhat carry the load of the team and not rely solely on the defense.
I guess that's valid, yeah. I guess that makes
also
sense.
like the thing is in Edmonton's history, they haven't really signed like an amazing goaltender. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
when
that's
they
true.
signed Jack Campbell, right? Like he was trending downwards. Like most of his stock went up in that November of the 21-22
Yeah.
season, where he was like playing a Vezina level, like Vezina level goaltending, and then after that he wasn't ever that good. And then
Campbell had like
Oilers,
2 good games against Tampa in the year
yeah,
he was of that playoff run, and that's about
yeah,
it. And then
and
people thought that like, oh my goodness, it's a good opportunity to sign him, and now he's like proving out to be like a really bad signing for Edmonton.
like
Yeah.
next 4 years is they're paying him $5 million to be a backup, and I mean 6.5. They're lucky Skinner took a decent contract, but it's not even that long. It was a 3-year deal, so I mean, and even Skinner's struggling. So like you're giving like 6.5 to your goaltending tandem to put below average numbers. Like you need at least one goaltender to do well.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. So I guess we are blaming the goaltending then?
I would say it's
I
a
wouldn't
Partially.
solely
culmination.
say on the goaltending. I'll say both the defense and the goaltending have been like a really well, like their offense hasn't been producing as much, but yeah, just the whole entire team's like not producing as to
And
what.
they still scored four goals tonight. Like if you score
Mhm,
4 goals, you should be able to win. Even if you had like average defense, allow
mhm.
2 goals, 3 goals, like that should be enough of a margin to win the games. But it's been just so inconsistently bad that I think the defenses were more to blame than the actual goaltenders.
Okay, yeah, that's valid. Now we should probably move on to the second bad team that we're gonna talk about. Let's talk about the teams in the Metro. So the Pens.
I
They're
knew it.
uh,
Yeah,
they're two and
no, like
four.
we made the predictions video earlier on, like I think a couple weeks ago now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like the in my opinion, I said that the Pens goaltending needs to show up, and Jari has not been that guy. Like he's looked weak at times. I'm sure the Pens defense isn't really helping because Carlson was never a defensive guy.
Yeah.
But like for them to actually make the playoffs, they need their goaltender to show up, who they just paid a big money. And just like Campbell, like Jari's been lackluster.
So do you think they turn it around? Is my question.
I mean, I'm never one to bet against Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
He's a generational talent coming to the end of his career. I'm sure he would like to make playoffs, but I mean, how many more of these games can they afford to drop is the real question. And I mean, if they don't start winning now, how will they instill these winning ways throughout the season? So I mean,
I
I
feel like
guess yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like on paper this team shouldn't lose like that much at the beginning of the season,
I mean,
right?
I kind of like. I'm guessing Carlson has like an adjustment period too, right? Like once it takes time to get used to a new team, right? A new system and everything. So I think I'd give them like a benefit of I'd give them him the benefit of the doubt for like the first 10 games. I think after that, like after he gets used to the system, he'll be back to his Norris caliber Carlson play, you know? On the offensive side at least, not the defensive side.
I mean, on the Pens now, I think he would have more defensive responsibility because on the Sharks team, like I doubt there was like any accountability of what you were doing. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
lose as much as possible and do whatever. Like he was running that squad. Like he was running that squad offensively, 100 points, whatever.
Yeah.
But like this team on this Pens team, he actually has responsibilities and like he has to play a certain way to fit their system. Otherwise, the whole thing falls apart.
I think he'll pull it together soon. I think it
I
takes
think
time to
the
get used to the
adjustment
system.
period's gonna be like really bad for him because he's also like transitioning to a team that actually has like high level offensive talent as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
True, yeah. I
I
mean, I
mean,
see the
I
Pens
don't think
turning it
he's
around.
gonna put up. I don't think he's gonna put up 100 points, but I think he should at least put up 65. That's
That's
my
fair, yeah.
expectation.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he doesn't have to play defense as long as he's still providing that offensive threat on that team. So, I mean, like it won't be as important as if he got like 30 points and played no defense, and that's a big problem. But like if he gets like 60, 65, 70, 70 plus, then I mean, it's a little easier to forgive those mistakes that he makes on defense.
Yeah, you get the Edmonton mentality.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, Crosby's won a couple of won 3 cups. So like, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he can, even if they make it as a wild card, you can't count them out, right? Even though
Yeah.
they haven't won a series since 2018, it's about to be 6 years now.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's yeah, time flies, bro. I really okay, yeah, whatever. But like I do think injuries might be a problem too for them.
Yeah,
It's a
Hmm.
lot of fragile like Malkin, Letang, and Carlson. Those three, I don't
even
think.
Crosby. Crosby's faced with quite a
Crosby
bit of
has
issues.
could just
Oh yeah,
get
true.
injured. You know,
Oh
he's
yeah,
had a list of
concussion.
injuries.
Yeah,
So
so I
I mean,
mean,
I wouldn't count them out, but like they need to pick it up and as fast as possible because you don't want another season to go to waste like last season did, especially with the aging Crosby, Malkin,
yeah,
Letang, Carlson. Even like they're getting up there. There's 30 plus.
yeah. And then next team we were going to talk about was the Caps. They have been disappointing.
I
Terrible, disgustingly awful, and I genuinely after today's game against the Leafs, like I don't know what they've been up to. I don't know how they made themselves worse from last season. I didn't think it was
I
possible.
wasn't in the predictions video, but if I was, I would personally say that I was not expecting much of the Caps at all this year.
I
What
didn't
did we
expect
even
them to
say
fall
about
this
the
hard.
What did we even say about them in the predictions video? I'm not even sure. I don't remember, but
I
I
think
think
we had them like borderline wild card or missing.
I
yeah, I think we did have them missing,
I
but
think
like
they should be missing at this point.
But I also
Like
didn't expect them to be this bad, you know? Ovechkin has 1 goal.
1 goal in like 7 games.
I
Like
Yeah,
feel like he
they're
should. I felt like that this team would just be like a mid team. It's like either borderline playoffs or just barely misses the playoffs.
like the thing is, I mean, they only have two bright spots on their that team realistically. It's Ovi's goal record that he's chasing and like Matthew Phillips, who they just got from Calgary.
Mm.
yeah.
And those two are like the only players on that team that look like they're trying. Like it's been astonishing to see how bad they are.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Capital season is over, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so
That's fair
too.
to say,
There's not much else to
actually.
do.
They do have like Kemper as their starter, do they not?
Kemper was never good. Like I don't know why. He was good in Arizona, but even on the Avs, the Avs won in spite of him, not because of him, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
They
It's just
didn't
like,
need they didn't need him to carry, and he
Yeah,
wasn't that good. But like in Arizona was like when he was at his peak. And it's
yeah.
not like Kemper is like a bad goalie. He can have good games. Like I think even earlier this season he's played a like one or two good games, but like against high octane NHL teams, which there are plenty of in the
Yeah.
NHL these days, he's not gonna hold up.
Yeah. I mean,
he's
okay, now do we see wait, go ahead, yeah.
he's just on a worse team as well. It's just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
who was he was playing for Colorado, and Colorado can carry its own without the goalie. But
yeah.
like now he's on the Capitals, who do actually need to rely on a goaltender that is like above average, or like average at least, to be like a top contending team.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the Capitals prime, they had prime Braden Holtby, and he
Hmm.
was an amazing goaltender while he was like in form. But now like they've had a carousel of goalies, with everybody going in and out. And Kemper is a guy you take down with you in a rebuild, not and you don't expect him to carry you in any way.
Now that we're on goalies, how badly have the Capitals messed up? Samsonov and Vanecek, two starters from other teams. They could have had them
I feel like they
goalies.
made. I mean, Samsonov and Vanecek this season have gone off to pretty slow starts.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I don't know about how much they're regretting that, but this would have made sense letting them go if they just didn't sign Kemper. Like,
Yeah.
if you're letting these guys move on, then like get a mid tier goalie, and that's it. Like, you don't want to win games. You want Ovechkin to chase that goal berth.
Yeah. I mean, okay, now that they're bad, do we finally expect Kuznetsov to get traded? He's asked for a trade
Probably.
like 5 times now.
Maybe at
I
this
I
point,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Like, I swear he said he wants to get traded, and then he came out and said that everything that was in the media was false. And then there was another trade request that came out like 4 weeks later. So I mean, either like he's trying to keep it under wraps, or he's just switching his stance. But I doubt that. I think he's just trying to save face in media, and he's gonna get traded at the deadline at latest.
Okay, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it for the Caps now. Now we can actually go to the happy side of things. Or,
Hooray!
the sad side. It's the sad side. Sorry, the sad side if you hate the Boston Bruins.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's it's one of those things where it's just like, well, they were the best team last year,
Yeah.
and maybe they can keep up somewhat of the form, but not a 6-0-0 form, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
just not that good. They're just not that good, and they've only played like bottom feeder teams recently. Like they played Chicago twice. I know that for sure.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
who else? Who else did they play? Like
Let me search it up. Boston Bruins schedule. Uh, let's see. So the Boston Bruins they've played Chicago, Nashville, San Jose, Kings,
yeah.
Anaheim, and Chicago. I see what you mean.
Okay, so like I mean, Kings are the only real contender on that list, and
Yeah.
I mean they've won 5 games against like lottery teams, and not like low lottery teams. Like San Jose has literally not won a game this year. Chicago has 2 wins under their belt, and Anaheim is just, as we know, not very good. So like, I mean, how much can you really credit them? I mean, they're beating bad teams, which any contending or fringe contender should do anyways.
And they have not dominated any of the games. The score's like
Yeah,
3-1, 3-2, 3-1, 4-2, 3-1, 3-0. Like it's not
yeah,
like they destroyed them. They barely won, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like you should be doing more against these teams. Like I shudder to think what'll happen if they play like uh I don't even know, a Vegas or an Avs team. Like Avs have won like a good chunk of like their like against contenders too, and the Vegas has just been really dominant. So I wonder what'll happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, we started off this segment saying the Boston Bruins were good, but I guess now we're kind of flipping it and saying they're mid, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
we are, but we can't deny a 6-0-0 start. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
also like if it was Tampa Bay, I would have expected them to blow 2 of the games anyways, you know? It's
Hmm.
impressive that they won all 6, but I also see that the 6 that they won are not against good teams, you know? So like that isn't enough for me to like go out and say they're gonna be good this year.
Like us three right now, we're on the stance of how legit is this team.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like we don't believe too much in them, but it's just like they have a 6-0 start for a reason. Even though it's not like dominating games against like mediocre teams to bad teams, it's just like it's not really easy to like skim over and just like, oh yeah, no, but they're playing against bad teams, you know?
I guess we can give them like a W, but a W with caution. Like
Yeah.
we'll
And
see how
after,
the rest of the.
Like we're waiting for them to face off against like an Eastern powerhouse right now still.
Yeah.
they worst the Leafs in a couple games. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Like that
We'll
might be
see.
like their actual like testing period. Like, are they really legit at that point?
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I think we're settling on like this is might be a good team, but we need a larger sample size to actually determine that.
yeah, that's valid. And the next team we have is Detroit Red Wings.
Oh
And
man, I love Alex DeBrincat.
that man is crazy.
Fantasy team goat. Fantasy team goat.
Holy, like there's
Nobody.
no way this guy's popping off this bad.
Different.
I know the
Different.
Ottawa fans are like really mad because this guy is torching the league.
Yeah, him and Larkin are 1 and 2 in points, I think, in the league, right?
Yeah, they're crazy.
I wish the NHL site would load stats, but okay, whatever. I'll just remember. I think they're the first. I think the first and second in the league. I'm
I
fairly
think
certain.
I'm
He's
pretty
like
sure DeBrincat has 9
DeBrincat's
goals
like has like 13 points. He's like top 3 in the league.
and 9 goals. I think he's leading the league in goals.
He's leading the league in goals because I'm pretty sure like next.
Yeah, he definitely is leading the league in goals. He's crazy. This
Yeah,
man.
I think it's DeBrincat, Reinhardt, and then Matthews.
Yeah, those are the top 3. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, yeah, that's huge.
Do I expect him to keep up this insane pace?
No.
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 But I mean, good for the Red Wings. They got their goal scorer, they got their main man Larkin with somebody who can actually put the puck in the net, and now they're enjoying the rewards. I do think, however, that the scoring run is unsustainable.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a good start is always something to strive for, and I think this team is actually legit. Unlike the Bruins, these Red Wings have played decent competition as well.
So where do we think? Do we think they'll keep up this pace and finish second in the Atlantic? Or do we
No,
think they'll drop?
Not second, but I feel
I
like
think
they
first
are making the
wild-
playoffs.
first wild card.
First wild
I think
card?
that's-
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's their baseline. Like that's what they should be able to do. And I mean, last year I expected the Red Wings to battle for a playoff spot, and they
Yeah.
kind of fell short near the end.
Yeah.
But this year, I think they're gonna definitely be up there. We're gonna see some new matchups in the Atlantic, and it's gonna be really awesome.
The Yardstick plan is finally working.
Mhm.
Finally, yeah. I mean,
About time,
a
man.
bunch of questionable moves.
I mean, if you throw enough shit together, it will eventually.
As
guess-
long as you have those like 3 or 4 guys in like the center that are holding it out all together. Now that's DeBrincat, Larkin, and Sider on defense, and then like the fourth guy can be whoever, Raymond,
Yeah.
like whoever, one of the like the bottom 6 or like the middle 6 that can actually throw together a decent night. But those 3 guys need to show up and to keep stuff cohesive. I mean, they did lose today, but like they came back down from 3-1, and they showed great like hustle, and that's what I think a young team really needs, like the Red Wings, especially with they have so many different pieces that are moving around constantly.
Yeah. So I definitely think they'll do some damage this year. And then the last team, Mark's favorite team, the
We
Vancouver.
never talk about this team in a positive way on this channel.
Yeah.
you
We've
finally
never
get to.
talked about this team in a good way, and I am so happy we finally are.
Hooray! Canucks
So
win tonight.
Yes.
It was such a good. I was happy that they won tonight. Oh my gosh, this is.
It was I feel like Canucks of yesteryears would have blown that lead with like
Oh,
2 minutes left to go.
100%.
They would have allowed
100%.
2 goals in like the last 2 minutes, and Tyler Myers would have had the giveaway on the game-winning goal for the Nashville Predators. That's what would have happened.
This
But no.
this team is playing incredibly right now, as a whole, except for Tyler Myers.
He almost
like-
threw today too. He
like-
got a cross-checking penalty at the
Yeah,
end.
exactly. In a really bad situation too. It's just like this whole entire team is actually playing like a cohesive unit. Like there are 2 stars, obviously you talk about, actually 3, because of the fact that how well they've been performing. Like we could credit JT Miller's actual willingness to play defense. We
Yeah.
could talk about Besser returning somewhat into form, being able to get 6 goals, being like fifth in the league in scoring or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we also got Petty, who's like top what 6 in points right now, or top
Yeah.
something like
What
that.
about Hughes? That guy,
Quinn Hughes is the
Quinn
best
Hughes
player
is
on that team.
he's carrying that team right now,
he
man.
is carrying a load on the defensive end as well. He's like what 14 and what like 14 and 1, like 14
Yeah.
goals on ice or something like that, or
Yeah,
like
he's
Does
a,
Quinn
one.
Hughes does Quinn Hughes have the potential to be the best captain in Canucks history?
No,
no, I don't think so.
no. I will personally say, as a Canucks fan, I don't think so. I think Henrik Sedin's just gonna hold that title for as long as possible.
Forever? What if he actually wins a cup though? What
If he wins a cup, then that changes my mind. But as of right
okay,
now, this whole entire Canucks team is working brilliantly.
Do we think Hughes has a shot at the Norris Trophy? This
For
100%.
for
100%.
sure.
I think he's gonna be a finalist this year just because of how he's playing. I think he
Yeah.
has a legitimate chance to win, and I think like in this early season, he's been a top two defenseman. Like no joke. That's
For
how
Yeah.
sure.
I'm really high on Pedersen. I mean, Hughes.
Yeah, like watching him, he's making so much stuff happen, man. Every single shift. I just hope the Canucks don't ride him too hard right now.
Mm,
I feel like with the defensive additions they've made with Susi, who's been good defensively, and like
Neurotic.
and I mean Susi has been good. Who's the other guy?
Uh,
Hiroshi.
Roshi, yeah.
Roche,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hiroshi's been decent as well.
And you got
I
Patrick.
I'm not. I'm still on the fence about Ian Cole. Like, okay, he's fine, but yeah, I think Susi was a really good addition that they needed to make, and I'm glad that they did it.
Yeah. Do we think the Canucks are legit?
I
Yeah,
personally, at this point, you have to consider them legit. They have won. They have won against like, yeah. With hindsight, they wins against Edmonton aren't looking so good, but still, they beat at the time a top 5 like contender for the cup.
yeah, true.
They went on. They had some shaky losses against like Philly, which
In
was
Tampa.
yeah, Philly. Tampa was a 1 goal game, and Tampa's been known for being good, and we haven't beat them in like 4 years. So like whatever about that one. And then we had like we strung together 2 quick wins. We are above 500 for the first time through 6 games in like what feels like 5 years.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
mean,
have Demko and KCD Smith, who are both playing phenomenally.
the Smith is playing lights out.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh let their good goalie go.
they
yeah, they wish they would have
both
had
of
him.
our goalies right now are playing absolutely phenomenally. Like we cannot deny that.
Yeah.
I agree. They are playing crazy.
Like there's really like from my standpoint as like a big Canucks fan, even though I'm low key biased, like everyone's pulling their weight except for one player, but I always meme on him a lot on this channel. But like other than that, this whole entire team's playing absolutely amazing. You know?
That's fair. Yeah, I agree. Like this team is different.
I want to wait till November for my judgment on this team. That's when the like
Okay.
10-game losing streak starts. Every November, man.
Bro, I don't know, man. We had a losing streak last year from like October
October.
to November.
Yeah, so like I don't know, man. I've
I
watched this
remember.
too many times. I'm reluctant to like give in to like the hype of the
Like
Canucks ever.
like from what I can see, like the defense has improved. I think the systems overall have improved as well.
Yeah.
We're playing more of a fast-paced game. We're actually letting Quinn Hughes dictate with his skating and his speed how the offense plays. We're letting like Besser shoot in the slot, and he also has some nice like tip-ins.
Yeah.
Like Petty's being Petty like last year. So it's just like it all looks really good.
What if this team had kept Horvat?
I well, like
I
Bovillier
don't
isn't
know.
as performing as he was like last year when we first obtained him. But like I feel like he's just gonna perform to the expectations that the Canucks fans are meeting at. I don't know if Horvat would make an entire because without that Horvat trade, definitely would not be here.
Well, I
That's
mean,
fair.
you have to pay him 8.5 million.
I feel
Exactly.
like no, like my hypothetical would be if like what if Horvat had one more year at like 5 million, like with
Okay, yeah. That would be a huge
I feel
difference.
like that would be a huge thing just because it's like the Canucks like undoubtedly the past couple of years the Canucks have always had this like potential of being like a really offensive heavy team.
yeah.
And
I
like
mean
part
even last year the power play was pretty good, right? Like
exactly like we had like a really good offensive team. It's just the fact that like our defense was always a shaky problem. I feel like with Bo Horvat on how he plays and how how good on the offensive side he is, I feel like that this team would be better on the offensive end. However, we are still performing really well without him. So I don't know if like his contributions would have made too much of a difference in terms of like
I
the
feel like
games we
yeah,
lost.
without him, you don't get the Hronik trade, right? And Hronik has been
Exactly,
pretty
yeah,
good.
and that Hronik
Yeah.
trade is like looking really huge for us still right now.
I think it was the right move at this time. I didn't like it at the moment, but now, it's
With all
kind
the
of grown on
pieces
me.
that they've gained, right? Like it's solid.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just like if we didn't give up Horvat, like we would not end up in this position where our
Mhm.
defense improved, our offense is still at the capability as it was at the end of the year last year. Our goalies are looking absolutely amazing. It's just like all around looking perfect for the Canucks right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree with that. One last thing before I think we cut off. What about Connor Garland?
That's my goat.
What do they want? They want to trade him apparently, or they're letting him talk to other teams.
I
I don't get why.
I think that was just off-season buzz. I
I
don't think
don't
they'll
think that we want to give him away anymore
yeah.
because
Really?
of he has like a he has impact that like a stat sheet can't really tell you because he's like a hard-nosed grinder in terms of like trying to chase down the pucks, winning the puck battles,
Kind
being the
of
first one to the puck, kind of like
like
that.
he kind of reminds me of like a less skilled Marchand, like he's gonna
Yeah,
get into other teams' faces, and that's what his job is, to just like get the puck out of grimy areas and like crash the net, even though like he's so small, like he just does what he does.
he's just really like he's a player that you will not see like on the stat sheet as like a big difference, but like when you're watching him play, you feel like he's making a big impact.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's valid. I guess so. We agree that they're not going to move him eventually, or
yeah.
Me
yeah.
personally, I don't want to see him moved.
Yeah, I just heard the rumors. I was wondering what you guys thought about it. But yeah, other than that, I think if you guys don't have anything else to add, I think we're good for
Yeah,
this
I
video.
think Canucks are gonna be third in the Pacific, in my humble opinion.
The Pacific Northwest is back, and they're ready.
Will they
I
do
think
better than
yeah,
the Edmonton
Vegas.
Oilers?
Bro, I don't know, man. We kind of messed up Edmonton like twice. So like
You broke them, man.
we we actually broke McDavid's spirit. What can we say?
That's a W. Now he's gonna come to the Leafs in 2026.
I don't want to hear that.
He's
Yeah,
coming. He's coming home.
But like this whole entire like situation with the Canucks is just me personally made me happy and like seeing them play good and actually having like their best start they did in like 7 to 8 years is just like incredible to me.
I agree. It's been good.
yeah. I mean, there's not much else to add. I think you summed up pretty well.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited to talk about this Canucks team on like a good way for this channel for once.
All right. Anything else to add? I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think we're
I'm
good.
good now.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think that's it then. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.